Altcoins aren't the only coins performing extremely well at the moment. Ethereum's ETH coin has been performing exemplary in its field, with the price of Ethereum going up significantly over the past few weeks, recovering from the big losses it saw when Bitcoin crashed. We're going to be performing our usual technical analysis on ETH coin today and making some predictions on where we can expect to see the coin go in the near future. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video. We're taking again another look at Ethereum's ETH coin, performing our usual technical analysis and using some various technical indicators in order to make some price predictions on where we can expect to see Ethereum go within the next few days, weeks and months. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing and wealth management. I'd also love to know your thoughts on ETH coin and Ethereum down in the comments section below. But without any further ado, let's jump into the computer and start today's analysis. Welcome into CoinSpot, guys. If you're looking to buy Ethereum's ETH coin or any other cryptocurrencies, there's a link down in the description of today's video to sign up and start buying now. But let's now take a look at ETH, and we're looking at the hourly, and as you can see, over the past few weeks we have been performing extremely well. Let's just jump out to the daily to see exactly how well. And as you can see, the recovery has been immense. It's been swift, it's been fast. It is what we really like to see when it comes to a coin recovering. Now, one interesting point that I'd like to make is look at the volume on today. Or sorry, this is actually volume from yesterday. It is absolutely huge, and it showed that, well, it appears there has been a bit of buying, a bit of selling going on. The price action itself, not too much on that day, but what is interesting is the fact that the volume is so high. So it looks like someone's either swallowed up a ton of coins on supply, or someone's dumped some, but there's just been enough demand that it's scooped up the value. And I think it's a dump purely because it's a red day, but as you can see, it has barely affected the price, and that is definitely one of the biggest days we've had since, well, look, we're talking roughly about May, when we had that absolutely horrible day when Bitcoin just plummeted and caused the rest of the market to go along with it. But let's perform some technical analysis. Now, first things first, what are we doing? Well, let's have a look at the overall trend. And the way I like to look at it from this sort of charts perspective is, yes, we can, draw a line in here and try and get a good idea of exactly where we've been sitting for the past few days, weeks, months, whatever that may be. But in the overall scheme of things, whilst yes, we are now back in the overall uptrend, I'm more focused on the last few weeks. In particular, I'm focused on what we are seeing from a trend perspective here. This is one of the only coins which hasn't had blips. It's basically been green days throughout. We've got 1, 2, 3 red days before we've sort of plateaued out over the period of, about 3 weeks or so, which is pretty incredible if you ask me. That just shows that there's a lot going on for this coin. I'm just going to chuck in a few little bits here and there just to make sure we can work out exactly where we're sitting. I think we're sort of trading in an upwards channel at the moment. As you can see, I'm going to use that as the channel. We did break out of this channel in a big way, as you can see here, but came back into it once again on the right hand side, and we're now currently sitting at $4,524.72 Australian, which is really good stuff, and we're at the peak of where we were today. Not only that, it looks like almost a flag pattern has formed to some degree. I'll chuck this one in here. As you can see there, a flag pattern has formed. I've just hidden that accidentally. Let me chuck the pole back in. And what we're seeing here is a bullish flag. And the reason it's a bullish flag is due to the fact that basically we are in an uptrend now, and this has formed. It's formed in a pennant style shape, which basically means that what we're seeing is not your typical, I suppose, flag pattern where it's even and going down. It's consolidating upwards, and it's basically consecutive days of lower lows and high highs, that sort of thing. But it looks like we've broken out of that flag pattern now, and we're going to continue trending upwards. So really good stuff there, and what's interesting is it's not actually off too much volume, even though there's been quite a bit of price action today, as opposed to yesterday where there was an absolute ton of volume but not much price action had occurred. So interesting stuff there, and I think we're going to potentially maybe hit the top of this channel and bounce down, or we're going to break through the channel. Where would that leave us though? That is the real question here. Are we starting to move in an upwards manner now to, you know, the next resistance point? Yes, I think so, because the consolidation looks like it's complete. We've broken out. So where's that point going to be? Well, let's look at the past to work that out for us. We're basically looking for the point where there has been plenty of price action, and the point which probably has the most price action at the moment is $4,704 Australian. Then the next point after that would very much likely be up here, where we've had quite a bit going on, you know, 5,355 Australian, or even maybe slightly lower. Actually, you know what, probably about here at 5,128. Plenty of price action has occurred around that point in time. So I think we're going up. First target will be to test this 4,700 point, then follow that up by going for the 5,130 odd point. Once we break that, it's really blue sky here past the point of the all-time highs. So crazy stuff could be happening in the near future. Very, very exciting, but it looks like all things are positive at this point in time. Now, I'm just going to bring up the RSI. And the reason I want to look at this first is because I think it's going to be overcooked. And that is very much the case. And it's no surprise, and it should be no shock. And that's due to the fact that we have had weeks worth of consecutive buying, where the buyers are significantly outweighing the sellers. Now, that means that we're starting to cool off a bit. I suppose we are still sitting in the overbought category at 72.46, so we need to drop back into that range. But as you can see, this has happened plenty of times in the past. We'll drop back down. We might even continue to move up just a bit more slowly, as opposed to having so many green days in a row. So good things there. Let's have a look at the MACD as well, get a vibe of exactly what's going on there. As you can see, we've been going well. Once that cross occurred, literally the first big green day we had the cross, and then we started moving. It was really, really exciting, and we've kept going from basically the bottom of 2,440 to where we are now at 4,526. So great stuff there. Not much to see. If we do start, I suppose, plateauing out a bit, I'd expect that maybe we see this blue line cross below the red, but you know, time will tell for that. Let's now look at probably what will give us the best indication of exactly where we're sitting, and that is going to obviously be our moving averages. We're going to use our standard ones, which are the 20-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, and finally the 200-day moving average, our real long-term one here. So just for a bit of perspective, what happened was our 20-day moving average bounced off the 200-day, which was quite interesting, and then crossed back above, forming a golden cross over the 50-day moving average at almost $3,000. It was about 2,966, and we started moving. Great stuff there for us. We've seen that this really didn't barely, I suppose, go below the 200-day. The price was below the 200 at one point, which, you know, isn't good, but we recovered in a big way. So you can see that overall we're performing really well. This 20-day will move up and act almost as a bit of a support point for us. And hopefully now what we'll see is this 50-day is definitely not going to cross below the 200-day. We've had the golden cross, we're moving in the right direction, and these are the indicators really that are showing us that the trend has changed. This golden cross is critical for us, and we're seeing this across many coins now that have gained a bit of momentum in the past few weeks. Fingers crossed we stay this way, we keep moving upwards. I think really we're going to see Ethereum absolutely skyrocket once we crack the previous all-time highs. It's a stable coin in the sense of it's not one of those coins, I don't mean like a stable coin like USDT, it's one of those ones which has a solid foundation, it has good fundamentals behind it. It's not, well, you know, a meme coin basically. It's a coin which has utility to it. So in that sense, from a foundation perspective, it's a stable coin, but obviously it's got the price volatility you expect in all cryptocurrencies that aren't quite literally stable coins. But overall, we're looking really good, and we're looking like we're going to be testing the next target for us, which is sitting at 4,700 in the very near future. I'd love to know your thoughts on the direction that Ethereum's ETH coin is going down in the comments section below. It looks like all things are relatively positive right now, bar the RSI, which might need to cool down a bit. But if you did enjoy today's video, remember to leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing, and wealth management. So if that tickles your fancy, please join the channel. And with that, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.